We're bringing you Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle United. Nedum and Jules are live from a brewery in North London at the moment, and they've been joined by a couple of Tottenham fans, Ali Speechley from the Spurs Reach Committee and Chris Colwyn, who's a Spurs YouTuber, also with us as well. Ali, first of all, congratulations. You are an award winner, I believe.
Yes, Spurs finally have a trophy, right?
Oh,
very good.
Wow.
Why didn't I think of that? Very good. So this is at the FSA's, the Football Supporters Association Awards. Why don't you tell us a bit about what you won?
Yeah, so we won the Fans for Diversity Award. So Spurs Reach stands for Race, Ethnicity and Cultural Heritage. So we're an official supporters group with Tottenham Hotspur, and we're basically here to kind of help everyone realise that actually the Spurs fan base is really diverse, and football's for the fans, right? And everyone should feel welcome and safe at the game, regardless of what you look like, where you come from and what you sound like. So yeah, we were really proud. We picked it up on Monday night to win our first award, because we're only just over a year old, so really proud of that one.
Well, that is amazing, and congratulations. That is really, really cool and really, really important. Do you think Tottenham are going to follow your example then and get a trophy this season of some description?
Oh, you never know. I have got my eyes on that FA Cup.
Have you?
But yeah, I was just saying to the lads here, I think we're all just along for the Postecoglou ride this season, really. I haven't just sipped the Kool-Aid, I'm drunk on it. I'm like fully Ange all the way.
What about you, Chris? It's been a struggle of late, it's fair to say.
It's been a struggle, but talking about trophies, you know, we haven't won an FA Cup since 1991, so it would be nice to go far in that competition and perhaps lift a trophy under Postecoglou. We've had a number of win-now managers come in, and sadly they haven't got us over the line, but everyone is fully on board with Ange Postecoglou. We've seen some entertaining football in the opening 15 games or so, and even in the games that we've lost recently, we've played well. We just lack that conviction, as Postecoglou has said. But you know, earlier on in the season, there's been like a party atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and we haven't seen it like that since the Pochettino days. So hoping, you know, a couple more transfer windows for Postecoglou, and he can really get the players in that he wants. We can see the direction we're going in. So I think there's a lot of very happy Spurs fans right now, but it's about ambitions as well. Of course, we want to be ambitious. We want to win trophies. We want to push for silverware. Harry Kane, of course, went in the summer as well, so that's going to be very difficult. A new striker perhaps needs to come in the January transfer window, but we know there's going to be a lot more change. There has been a lot of change in the last couple of years at the football club. We've gone round in circles in many ways, but Postecoglou, I'm sure, will take us forward.
So you say a new striker in January. Is this to force Son to go out wide, or how would this work?
I think it's just about having game changers on the bench, because even under various different managers, particularly Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, we've always lacked that player coming off the bench and being that game changer. You know, even when Harry Kane was there, we didn't really have another striker to bring on. So I think that Postecoglou needs to bring in the players that he wants.
Okay.
And that's really, really important, because we heard Antonio Conte last season talk about club signings. It's really, really important that Ange has that decision of bringing his players in.
I could be wrong here, I could be way off the mark, but I feel like usually when a fan says we need to bring in someone in a certain position, you have someone in mind. So Ali and Chris, is there anyone you're thinking about wearing that white shirt?
I don't have anyone in mind. As I say, it's not about my choice or what I want. It's about what Ange wants, and you know, I think that he's had such a good start to you know, Tottenham Hotspur. There were a lot of doubters in the summer, and he's proved a lot of people wrong.
They're still there.
There's still a few doubters, yeah.
You don't think there's other positions that need maybe strengthening? When I see a Ben Davies, I love Ben Davies. I think he's a really great guy.
But here we go. Here's the aggressive
I think I'm going to agree with you, to be honest.
A Ben Davies, Emerson Royal partnership at centre back, I'm like, okay, Romero and Van de Ven, when they're fit and playing, they're the best in the league.
There's a lot of work to do, but when you look at our starting 11 earlier on in the season, it's a very, very good team, but we need that depth. But you know, he's only had one transfer window, and Postecoglou says that a lot. I've had one window, so future windows, as time goes on, I'm sure we'll get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, this Spurs team will always create goals. I think you're never going to replace Harry Kane. Like, he's an irreplaceable player. But for me, the most serious injury really was the one to Mickey van de Ven.
Yeah,
that's what's killed us. Like, Madders, exceptional player, love him. He's the playmaker I think we've been missing. And once he's back, I think you'll see a bit more creativity. Bentancur, that was just a nightmare because he'd come back in and help fill that gap a little bit as well. And now he's out again. But for me, every time I watch us play recently, it's just I miss Mickey. rookie so much.
But you got to look as well, that Manchester City draw at the Etihad 3-3, that second half, a lot of those players, you take all those players out, they give everything in that game, and Postecoglou's demanding, so much from a lot of these fringe players as well, and it's about taking opportunities sometimes. Lo Celso is another one. He's had a couple of good games, but will that form continue under Postecoglou? Because he's been at the club for 4 years, hasn't had a massive run in the team, so it's players like that need to step up.
Yeah. The recruitment side of it, Jules, is really interesting, what Chris was talking about there, because Ange Postecoglou has been very, very good at recruiting himself. He's done it at Celtic, he's done it at other clubs. But there can be a danger, and maybe Manchester United are finding this out again, if you go all in on the transfer choices of a manager. It has to work, otherwise you can be left in an awkward spot.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, in the sense, of course. I mean, okay, look, you get 100 million for Gareth Bale, and you waste that money completely in the transfer that you made at the time.
Apart
you
from
get
Eriksen.
100 million for Harry Kane.
Yeah,
okay, I give you that one. But
the
rest
that's
was a
the rest of
disaster.
it, yeah.
The 100 million you got for Harry Kane was already spent better than anything they spent before. Van de Ven, Brandon Johnson, even if Brandon Johnson hasn't maybe hit his best form yet, but he's a young player, he will get there. So, yeah, you need to spend wisely, but when you have a manager like Ange with such a clear identity and a clear philosophy of play, you need to sign the players that Chris was saying, that either he wants or certainly would fit that philosophy. Because if you go and get Neda Manua, for example, to play at the back in an Ange Postecoglou team,
don't you dare.
This is not going to
Don't
work.
you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You're better than that, Jules.
However, no, I'm kidding. But this is what I mean. So in a way, yes, you have to sign the players that he wants, because also you invested in the Ange Postecoglou kind of revolution and project. Otherwise, there's no point having someone like him with a clear identity.
Does everyone here think that when Ange came in, he was told that he was going to be able to pick his signings, though?
Something had to change because we've gone round in circles since Pochettino left.
Yeah.
And when you look at that transfer window, it's very, very fair to say a lot of us Spurs fans have criticised heavily transfer windows in the past, but the transfer window in the summer, to replace that whole spine of the team, Vicario in goal, who has been brilliant, Van de Ven at the back, James Maddison, and of course Heung-min Son coming in the middle. The whole spine of the team has changed, but the transfer window in the summer was exceptional, and that is why it needs to continue in that way. And that's why a lot of us are excited. But the style of football, I can't emphasise that enough, the style of football that we've seen as Spurs fans, the drab football and the defensive football that we've seen in recent years, we've seen probably more entertaining football in this last couple of months than we have done in the past few years. So that is, great to see.
Ali, just before we...
Also,
go on, Ali.
Sorry, go on. I was just going to say, I think also like the best thing that Ange has brought, regardless of players, is his identity, like his style of play. And I think, even if he doesn't get his first choice in a window, if he gets a second choice who is desperate to play his football and play his way and gives him 100%, that can sometimes work out better than a first choice. So it'd be interesting to see.
I agree with that. And I think this first 3-4 months of football that he's shown, you can see the players are enjoying it at Spurs. You can see people are talking about it. So if he does have the potential to offer someone the chance to play in it, he seems a lot more enticing than a theoretical that maybe some of the people did in the first half of the season.
Ali, you actually answered the question I was going to ask you, so absolutely perfect work there. Well done.
What can I say?
Award winner, Ali. That's right.
Award winner, yeah. She just knows.
It wasn't a fluke.
Chris, I'm sure you deserve awards as well, and I'm sure they're on their way.
I've won an award on my channel, so I'm
there
very
you go.
There
we go.
Spurs do win trophies. You've got 2 trophy winners here.
Have I told you about my award-winning podcast? No, sorry, I won't do that. Ali, Chris. Thank you both very much indeed. Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Chris Colwyn, Spurs YouTuber, Ali Speechley from the Spurs Reach Committee with us on Premier League Sunday. Right, we've got 14 minutes to go until kick-off in our 2 o'clock games in the Premier League, so we'll be around them shortly.